Hey, Jared, welcome back to Smack Talk.
Hey, Austin. Welcome back to Smack Talk.
Thanks for having me.
Never Stop Blowing Up.
So,
Finale.
I have Are you ready for the reveal?
No, I'm not ready for the reveal. Let's just do preamble first, right? Let's do preamble. We didn't do an episode 9 because there wasn't enough to talk about.
Well, that's the reveal.
You're doing. Okay,
I got a reveal for you. Yeah, the gimmick for the pyramid in the 9th episode. No pyramid. You don't get one either.
Yeah.
Yep. Boom. Gotcha.
Okay. No pyramid. You didn't do a pyramid the other time. You just did a circle.
Well, but nothing.
Right.
No, nothing.
I had so many other better gimmicks for you. I had upside down pyramid would have worked. You never did an upside down pyramid.
That was so
obvious.
You could have done that. But what you didn't expect is me not to call you. You didn't expect me not to call you last week.
Yeah. The gimmick is, no episode. Fuck you.
Yep.
Too much school.
Ultimate gimmick.
But yeah, no, I mean, last week's episode 9 was just okay. I mean, some of it was pretty good, but I did struggle to have like specific likes and dislikes. I wrote them all down, but it was a little iffy. But it just it wasn't hitting that much that it kind of felt like maybe as a finale, we can just talk about these last two. And it's like a 2-part season finale.
I agree.
Man, let's get into it.
Okay. I'm prepared to be the smack talker.
Yeah? You're going to smack the smack talk?
I really don't like episode 9 or episode 10. This is what I'm afraid of. You are always on my case, or like beforehand were, about like not watching this because it's so good. But that's exactly like what I always thought it was going to be. Was like what episode 9 and episode 10 were. Of it's like, okay, I'm just watching people I like have fun, which I get why other people like. But like, I don't know. I just don't care. I don't want to tune in. I'd rather just have fun with my own friends and or just watch something else.
I've got a 2-point response. The first point is a joke. You could be doing that with your friends, but you delay instead, and we never bring it back up, and we still haven't done our session. Second one is a for real response. I don't like this as an example of a finale of a D20 series because there are a lot of series that have this problem, I think, where like of D20 that they don't necessarily like stick the landing, and it kind of like is just an ending that combines a lot of previous elements of things that happened, and we just do like a wrap up that's not like thematically too consistent. But the ones that I care about the most, I think have the best endings. You know, like they're really going hard with like, oh, we're going to round out character arcs. We're going to, like all the plot threads that kind of felt like they needed to go somewhere are put in places that you would like nod at or whatever. I know you're an endings guy. And so like, I think back at like Fantasy High, the first season of Fantasy High's ending, like even the dice themselves are making sure that the ending makes perfect fucking sense for every character. It's beautiful. It's like magic. And I know you could like it, you know, because you're over here saying like, oh, one of your favorite moments was like, I'm sorry they don't believe Rashab or whatever. And it's like Jacob going up into the sky, this huge cinematic moment. He's making it up at the table. He's doing really, really well. That is the level of a lot of the other stuff and in endings of other seasons that like I was hoping that this would end with. And yeah, this isn't unprecedented, like the kind of regular nature of just having fun in the ending episode or whatever. That happens a lot, but it's sort of, I think, more of a like last 15, 30 minutes kind of thing for a lot of the like main seasons, the Intrepid Hero seasons, where they just like are starting to goof off at the end and do like funny little epilogues that sometimes they just go back and reverse anyways because it was too rushed or they didn't think they'd do another season. But it's just like small things like who got together. But yeah, so I just don't like this one as your first experience of a D20 finale because it's so breaking the form and trying to be off the wall and like genre specific and kind of like purposefully hokey and weird that it almost feels like they were going for less what am I trying to say? Like less obligation to really hit some strong, surprising, or good, or just like very valuable endings, you know.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I don't think there's a problem with any of this. And like, again, I totally get and understand why someone else would vibe with this. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, I'm on your side on this because like the thing about it is like I'm not a big Critical Role fan. I tried watching it a lot, but it is kind of like that. It's a lot more of like watching these people be friends for 3 hours and like living through that and not necessarily having that and being like, oh, this is a fun thing to sit down and watch. And, you know, it's a fun time because these people are here. I'm here for a good portion of the time for the story. And what like drew me in about this season so much is like the premise and like the promise of the premise and the setting and everything and even the fucking mechanics. Like all of it just made so much sense. And I was like, this is going to be incredible. And it like made it feel like it was worth doing this series over it. And we get to the last episode and I'm kind of feeling like it's all, yeah, like that, like an extended meme, you know, we're just memeing at the table for a little bit and the dice are there to like flavor the meme a little bit, you know?
Can we do top 3 things I wish we had talked about in episode 9?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. For one, I was super sure that Alex was going to be your number 1 role player last week. I thought, like, what? This is the best Alex has done all season. Last episode. And then episode 10, they were, in my opinion, bad again. But episode 9, they brought it. Did you feel that?
I had made a pyramid, and Alex made second tier for last episode. Third place, technically. Okay. Here's the thing. The I don't actually believe thing and being like, I can't go through this. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing. This is all freaking me out. It's a bold choice, and I love those bold choices at the table. So good. But the payoff for it was just so minimal that I was a little taken aback.
That the payoff was infuriating because Alex kept saying, like, well, don't you think I should, like, go through this arc or something? And I'm like, first of all, bad fourth wall break. Second of all, what do you think is happening? If anything, Allie is helping you here to make the arc. The arc is stop running away from problems and, like, confront something head on. You are running away again, and Allie is trying to get you to go back to confront reality. What arc are you chasing? Other than that one moment, I thought Alex did perfect. But like, I wish Alex had said what arc they thought they were doing by running away, because it's like, oh no, Chief.
Well, I think it's a very purposeful action, and so like, I'm actually gonna flip this around. That whole scene for me didn't hit because of Allie, and I was so taken aback that Allie seemed to not, and it may have been a character choice with Russell specifically, but it seems like Allie wasn't able to like word exactly like what the kind of solution was that could possibly help Liv. It almost sounded more to me like we're hitting some lines that would be in this movie, yes, but like we're in the movie, but we're real people that are talking to each other, that we need like more substance than what you're saying. And that hit with me in that moment that like, I don't know, Allie is amazing in almost every season they're in at like creating almost on accident. I mean, statistically, it can't be accident. It has to be skill at this point in storytelling, like prowess of creating a good theme for their character and like enacting that through other characters and like relationships and all this stuff. But like to see Allie kind of, for me, fumble like Alex's offering of being like, I need you to advise me in this moment and like tell me what you think like I should do, and then like really kind of bungle it up, just felt so like Alex was trying to create a moment of vulnerability that Allie didn't like actually like pay off that strongly, you know? And so that's why I did have that as like one of my
I interpreted that moment as an extension of the theme of all machines are computers, dogs are men, whatever the third one is, bombs or something. I thought that's kind of was the extension of what Allie was offering. I don't remember the exact verbs they were using, but it was like, I thought they were doing that in that moment.
Yeah.
I really, I'll keep arguing if you want to, but I really felt like Allie, I would have been like Allie in that moment and been like, you know, internal fourth wall break. We got one episode left. You running away from the party isn't going to be a fun side quest. Get your butt back over here. Also, whatever arc you think you're doing, you are wrong. The correct arc is to face reality. Get over here.
I know you're not being that harsh, and it's going to sound like I'm defending a harsh response, but I am sort of saying I think Alex knew they were doing an unreasonable character action and really wanted it to like home run with somebody else's like helping of the situation. And it like, for me, the thing that was like, it was intentional how weird it was, but it wasn't intentional how flat the response was, you know, because it was like I don't know, there were some things said in there that was like, oh really, like you don't think everybody will be mad or whatever? And it's like I don't even think that Alex thinks that they would think that for sure. I think, you know, Alex is making Liv think that, and that's fine, but then Russell doesn't follow it up with like something meaningfully, like something that would change your mind, you know. It's very like, no, they won't. Just come back. It's fine. And it's like, this is not the movie moment.
But that is the arc. That is the arc. That's why I'm so with Allie. Like, we get that in episode 10. Like, Alex was always scared that like by never making a choice, that would like upset her parents, or, you know, Liv's parents. That like, I missed the Stanford deadline, and like the world is just sucking me in because I'm so indecisive and like can't accept the roads that are before me. And so Allie's character, Russell, is being like, no, it's okay. Like, even though you did it again, just stay with us. Come back. It's fine. No one's mad at you. The choice is easier than you think it is. Come back.
It's so interesting. I did have the fact that Alex didn't believe on your dislikes for 9. Just because I thought you wouldn't like the choice, but I think you don't like the execution.
I just didn't like that one comment that Alex was like, don't you think that I should be like completing an arc? And it's like, that's the only thing I didn't like. I thought Alex did perfect. I even really like, because later Alex is like by themselves in a car, and they're like, so I'm just by myself in this hot rod, so people are mad. And it's like,
people are mad at me.
So
I thought I do think Alex is very skilled. It just kind of felt like, I've been saying this over and over, but like it felt like throwing a fishing line out and you catch like a bad fish, and it's like, whose fault is that? I don't know. Yeah. But I want to be on your side because I want you to like Allie because Allie is like in that moment I should be on that side. Like, given all of the past, like every campaign Allie's in, given all of that, I should be saying what you're saying, that like, oh no, Allie got it, and it was like trying to do a smart thing, you know, but it just didn't feel that way in execution.
There was a second moment. I just wanted to connect a dot real quick. Because there was a second moment where I was like, that's literally me. If I was at the table, this is what I would do. First one being like Allie telling Alex to get back. Second one, as soon as, I can't remember who gave the mint. I think Reka gave the mint to Doug Meat. And I was just like, you gotta choke on that mint. That's gotta be the way he dies now. And then when that happened, visceral pog, like actually like reacted. I like sometimes I'll laugh or whatever. I don't usually react. But I was like, yo, Brittany did this smart thing. So good.
That is good. Yeah. No, that was pretty clever. I'd say the thing that was worth talking about for me the most in 9 was was Iffy's Wendell's "Do you trust me? Do you guys trust me?" And he takes all 6 and pours them on Barcy-Man's grave. I think that's a perfect example of, for you, what you would hate for the dice to decide, and that like it was such a bold move that like in my mind I'm a little upset that it didn't work.
I agree. I like rewarding smart ideas. I kind of soured on that whole thing because then it became like, let's eat the dirt and stuff, and I don't know. I just want to stay serious for like 30 seconds longer, and it's just always.
I hear you. But in the end, all of the I'm just shortening it to APSs. I don't know why they don't. But all the APSs like wore off immediately. Like, that was the whole joke. And so it's like that made it fine for me, but I was almost so upset that them kissing each other was gonna give them fucking -5s. I was like, that's ridiculous. This is not
Well,
even
I liked
worth
it. I thought Brendan was really smart again because it's like it did work, remember? But then the scene's over, so that it doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's what I like about it. That made it perfectly okay to me. But it was like, like why not just start kissing each other like in between the scenes, like in the transitions of scenes? That way, that each person has one in a scene.
I put the my prediction for one of your likes was that Alex takes a quick second to be like, but our kiss that did matter, even though we're kissing everybody right now.
Oh, yeah. It was cute. I didn't have it written down. Mine was the fake out of that APS stuff, and then the trust me. I just liked how bold it was.
Yeah.
That's Iffy and Jacob are definitely doing the most, and then Izzy also are doing the most like genre, like loyalty, and it makes the series to me. And the fact that the other two people at the table are doing like okay with it is like what makes the series not.
Did you say Jake?
I said Jake. Okay.
Iffy, I want to segue into being mad at Jake. Why did he make it anime? Why?
This is a 10. We're moving on to 10.
I love anime. Man, I love anime, but like that's not action. Why did you just abandon premise and go Dragon Ball? I don't understand.
I can only assume that at the start of episode 9 or 10, it felt like 9. At the start of episode 9, Brennan just straight up says like, all right, guys, like just go buck wild. Like this is the last 2 episodes. Like fucking go for it, and that's what it kind of feels like. Because like Jake also brings out a fucking ATST, and it's like that's Star Wars.
I know Star Wars was fine. I don't know how to feel about Iffy's Mecha Gundam.
It was in response to the Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, but like I don't know. Just stay on genre.
Yeah. I do think the better version of it, because it sounded like the Super Saiyan thing was like, I'm gonna get this kill count back, which was not did nothing. First of all, I think he teleported like once.
I had a prediction for what Jake should do, and I'm kind of still mad at Jake too for not like realizing it, because it all happened kind of in quick succession. Like Brendan was kind of giving the answer, but right around the time the kill streak is stolen from and the white supremacists die, Brendan reveals that Dave the President has like a Time Lord ability. And it's like, well, you gotta just kill all 8 billion people in the world and then use that Time Lord ability to like undo it. But like you still have the kill count, That's what I was thinking.
Interesting. Yeah, I think on a 20 you might have done something that bold.
Because the quote unquote kill thing that happened anyway didn't even happen. Like Brennan says you kill 1.4 billion people with the reveal that it's a movie, but then it immediately gets retconned. So like it didn't happen.
Yeah,
I thought it was smart to make the count 0. I thought that was smart, but like
I thought that was fair too, because the 250 million is basically just a coin flip on who gets the D20 first, or the nat 20. What I like the most is in the adventuring party, they just talked about it. I don't know. I think this was in the adventuring party. I don't think they mentioned it in the episode. He was going to what he wanted to do is if he rolled a nat 20, he wanted St. Jude to show up in like a fucking magic door or some shit. He says it was some nonsense, but he's like, and it's just it's a hallway with 10,000 doors, and each door 1,000 people come out of it, or like 1,000,000 people come out of it, and he just fights down the long hallway in a one shot that's infinite. And I was like, okay, like the Daredevil one shot hallway scene, that is a good. I'm okay with that.
Good.
That is that's genre good. If that had happened, that would be good. That was his plan, and so like if it had come up, I think he would have done it like that.
Interesting.
For other dislikes and stuff, I think it was just that like the Sidewinders payoff for me wasn't that amazing. Like, oh, they're all here to just like be the like empty army of people that are fighting.
That's
the
classic,
empty army
though.
of
That's
bad
classic.
guys.
That's Ultron's bots. That's every superhero.
Yeah. It's the fucking dogs in Infinity War. It's all that shit. Yeah. But it was such a funny joke that I wanted it to be a little bit more maybe story specific, at least like somebody trains with them or something, like give me one thing with them. Also like Professor Gunshoot, that was still one of the better jokes from the early episodes. It's just like there was so many questions there that it was so much comedy I wish we had actually built on than just like that being really funny,
Yeah, I agree.
I thought you would have liked in 9 the plane disarming. Like the plane trying to use the nose of the plane to disarm somebody's fucking dog tags. This seems like a unique situation. I'm going off of what you said.
I went with the
This is a
slippery
unique
bean
situation.
oil as the
Yeah, I did have that. Return of Slipping was my other one for you.
Yeah.
I just love. He's so good at making it a line. Every time he's like, "That's more sky." Like it's it's such a line. He's always doing a line that it works. But as for 10, 10 was what I said. It was a big finale episode with like 30 minutes of outro or like epilogue. I think everybody got a decent ending to their character, but it was clumsier than usual. And I don't want you to walk away from this thinking that it's all that like let's wrap everybody up one at a time kind of thing,
I trust Bryn. I assume there's endings that are better. I'm just telling you that.
Yeah.
My fear, my like the barrier's already broken. I'm invested. I'm gonna watch the next D20 thing with you. Like I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying my hesitation was always what I saw, which was story second, hanging out with friends first. And like that's fine, but it's not what I wanted. But like I'm here, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, no.
I'll disagree with you a little bit. I think the only one that was super clunky for me, which is the most surprising because it was for Izzy, is Izzy's. I can't remember her husband's name now. I want to say Dawn. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dawn just showing up. That doesn't. I mean, like, it doesn't make any sense once you actually think about it.
And he doesn't even really say why. He's just like, "Hey, I know you were. It's just gonna be these other stores, so I'm here."
Like, in the real world, no time has passed, right? So it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was
that
was the most
like,
forced and ham-fisted.
We had predicted before that like things change in the real world because of the movie. I almost would have preferred that it was like,
me too.
Oh, because she like got back with her wife in the movie, like there was something there that like carried over,
But remember, Dawn's representation was the partner, not even the wife.
Yeah, but like the fucking partner came back to life. So,
did he?
There's like. He did, yeah. They were like, when she DM'd, she was just like, "Yeah, my partner comes back to life." And he was like, and when he comes back, he's like, "Oh yeah, vampire Cosmo Chase in the White House."
Oh wait, what? I thought the president was the vampire.
He was the second vampire. That was it was the setup and payoff of vampire because the payoff, like he was trying to bring somebody back, so he goes vampire, and then when the president starts fucking going crazy, then he's like, "Oh okay." We're gonna add vampire here too.
You know what? I'll headcanon, retcon, whatever to make me happy and being like, okay, since it was so abrupt in the DM, then that's why it's so abrupt in the real world. That's fine.
I'm happy for you.
I'm
glad you got to do that.
That's good. Okay. Then you know what? I'll defend all of the arcs. I think Brennan did a good job.
Really?
All arcs were done well for me.
Okay, good. Well, maybe I'm just feeling a little self-conscious about it because sometimes it can feel like that. I feel like we go person by person and kind of hit like a happy note with each one. But I think just like as long as you know that's not the exact formula every time and we move on with that knowledge, that is fine with me.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, no, I mean, they were all decent for sure. It's just, I think I really would have wished that like we had either more time in the real world or more time in the real world in like the center of the series in like a weird Squid Game episode 2. Like we're back at home and we know there's something crazy going on, and it's like, oh, like, do we go back to the magical world? Because it just I think it would have added a lot to a lot of things. Actually, I think it would have delayed how much crazy shit they were doing in Never Stop Blowing Up in the first place. Like, so much of what is, I think, gets a little tiring about this series is that like everything's always happening all the time, and therefore none of it's that special. It's just like, what crazy thing happened now, and it's just a little bit like it dilutes itself. And so I think that would undilute it is if you like take yourself out of it for a little bit. And even mechanically, people get less stronger if they're not doing turbo tokens and shit. But I also just think like story wise, it would be easier to swallow. Yeah, that was all good. I have a question for you about this. You did not watch The Adventuring Party. Did you understand the thing about how Dave doesn't even remember being in the movie?
I assumed because he died, you don't remember the most recent experience, I think is what I was assuming.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. That is the answer.
Okay.
But I just feel like in the actual episode, it was not covered. They like slapped him and he was like, what? And I almost was waiting for the reveal that wasn't Dave and that was just like,
Oh, if it had
like,
been G13,
whatever.
I would have pogged.
If it had been, well, here's what I was saying. If it had been like Slicer hacking into a different character and we do here's a weird like G13 Slicer subplot, like, oh, the sequel, like they're actually, whatever, that kind of thing, like, I'm into it. It just was so confusing at the end that they explain it in the adventuring party, but like that's almost one of the weirdest loose ends in any series that I've seen happen in a finale, where it's like, what? Like, are you gonna explain that? And then they'd have to later. But I just didn't think it like was given to you the information. It's kind of like you really have to reach for it and just assume that's what's right,
Poor Jared, your inferencing skills are being
oh my god,
tested.
Shut up, dude. You tell me I'm bad at inferring, but you're bad at communicating.
No, I'm not.
Bitch.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. We've already established this. Everybody agrees.
No one agrees.
Everybody talk behind your back.
What are you talking about? You don't even know what to talk about. If I'm a bad communicator.
Anyways, I really liked grab the top half of the Washington Monument. I thought that was funny.
Do you feel like Izzy meant that she was using the whole thing as a sword? Because I felt like she was pretty clear that it was like the tip, and then Brendan was like,
she said the tip. I think he was just like going crazy.
Yeah,
it's so interesting because I think Brendan himself finds himself to be like the ward of the story, and he's like, I am the defendant for the story when it comes. But in this season, it almost feels like he like wanted to take a day off and be like, no, I'm not defending the story. Like, I get to be the chaos one now too. But then there's no defender of the story,
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, it's like complete chaos and just there's no ward. It's a prison riot, and we're all fighting to see where we can grab our little, lunches or whatever. I don't know. This metaphor's gone too far. But it's good for him. It makes me hunger for what this could have been, for sure.
Yeah.
I did a thing.
Okay.
I went back and looked at our previous episodes just out of interest. I looked at all of our predictions. I looked at our golden likes or whatever the fuck you came up with.
Yeah.
And I looked at our pyramids and did a final count.
Okay, tell me the predictions, and I'll justify why they were all correct, even if they didn't happen.
The predictions, I didn't write all the good ones. I didn't write them all down. I wrote down the ones that got right. We didn't get any right in like the second episode for sure.
I would justify all the wrong ones.
Okay, some of them I did write down that are straight up wrong.
Okay, tell me.
Here's, let me see. Let me find one from you that's actually kind of weird. No, you just had like a bunch of ones that were never that good.
Tell me, I'll justify them.
Okay, you had this one was right. You had Barsimian in the race. That was correct for that episode. And then in the same episode, I had this is a weird one. Rashab payoffs. Like I said that Jacob has always been being never stop blowing up controlled by Rashab, and like that's the joke. And it's like it's not totally true, but it sort of is. I don't know. That just Rashab is an alien. I mean, he exists, and he like had a hand in this.
Yeah,
but like to the degree that he was real, that's what was real about it.
So those are both.
I said
so
Barsimian's not evil.
Or the brave.
I said,
ones. Yeah, he wasn't. Okay,
we didn't have that many brave ones. You did say that G13 would be back a lot of times.
Yeah,
a lot of times you said G13 would return,
and maybe he was. We'll never know.
And maybe he was.
And we'll never know.
You said he would be the final villain too. That was,
and maybe he was.
Made two separate ones. And and he was. You said Liv would have to crush the tape. You said Paula
and
will
maybe
steal
she
something,
will.
and that's the beginning of the sequel that like leads to the sequel.
And maybe she will.
Is this what it is every time? Is that?
That's my justification.
Is that every time you said? You said Barsimian is already fully taken over by his character. You said Doug is a traitor. Just not true.
God damn! I know that one fucking pissed me off. Oh my god, Doug is useless.
Hey man, I liked it. I liked it at the end. I love the callback to it has the same weapon as you. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
I think that was solid.
So Doug did die, right?
Because that's true. That's so silly. Yeah, he died.
Yeah, okay.
Even he
though
became the
Rika
president, but then he died.
The one, yeah.
Yeah.
I was enjoying
Oh,
that. I said Alex wasn't like my favorite in episode 10, but I was enjoying the when someone makes like the House of Cards joke of like, what the heck, you're just manipulating your way into power.
No, actually, I did like that. I liked it's very like, you know, fucking Kinkskin. This is like, oh, this is a big guy, and like, and he's like, oh, the next, like, what's bigger than crime? Politics. And it was like, it was a very silly version of it, but like walking up the chain with a briefcase going, I'm just going to work or whatever, and trying to walk out with the bomb in the same plan. It gives very like, I only wish Alex has said, or somebody had been like, well, what are you going to do, Alex? What are you going to do, Liv? Are you just going to walk right in there and take the bomb? And Alex just goes, yeah. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Wait, that's like, Liv stealing. That's Liv stealing and being important at the end. Fuck yeah.
But that's not what you said. You said Paula will steal something because that's the inverse for Paula's character.
Paula stole. How can I justify this?
Paula stole back the video store because Dawn now co-runs it. And which means there could possibly be a different video in the store that does something else.
Can you remember everything Izzy says when they're the DM?
Yeah, Izzy's like, Izzy says that the partner comes back to life. I think, is Izzy the one who's like, oh, Dave is tied up now and he can't get away?
No, that was Rika.
Oh, no, that was Rika. Izzy just freaks out for a long time. Izzy like loses 20 seconds just being like, and then everybody does bust. I think everybody busts when Izzy says.
Dang. Yeah, I guess Paula doesn't steal anything.
Yep, there you go.
Whatever. At least I was brave.
I wasn't.
At least brave. I put myself out there.
Oh my god, you never fucking established whether or not we were actually being competitive in this or not. Fuck you. Anyways, the fucking other predictions we got right was like, I said we'd find the SIGs. Yeah, your thing, the G13 villain didn't happen. You said Barsimian's not dead, which technically he's not. You also said that there would be a character who never stops coming, which like
that kind of happened.
Technically there is.
Yeah, technically there is. That kind of happened.
Yeah, there were just some good ones we actually had in there. I don't think we ever said that
the big swing and a miss
was in the movie. What?
I thought Jake was going to lose his virginity, or specifically Greg Stocks. Oh, yeah.
You thought that Greg Stocks was going to fuck Lucy or whatever.
I know.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Poor you.
No.
But I did also compile all of our pyramids just to see where the lineups was. For you, and I can't believe this is like mathematically possible, you had 4 people on the same tier somehow. Like you got them all the same. Like if I was giving point values to every tier, and you had 4 14s.
But Jake was beyond the pyramid for 1 or 2 weeks.
I know, Jake.
Do you give like extra points for that?
Iffy and Brennan. Oh no, sorry. Jake, Alex, and Brennan are the ones that have different scores. Alex's score is a 13 plus Hellfire, because at one point you put them below the pyramid. So I don't know what that equates to for you.
That'd be like a -1. So put Alex at 12.
Okay. No, lower numbers is bad. So higher numbers is. I mean, yeah, higher numbers is
Is bad.
Lower numbers is good. Higher numbers is bad.
Okay, then.
Fuck
then
you, dude.
Fire's +5. So fucking Alex is at 18.
That's 5? Okay. 18. That's crazy. A big jump. And then you had a 6 plus 3 Hellfires plus a star for Brennan.
Okay, the star.
So like you put
is
them above
-10.
the pyramid or outside the pyramid.
Yeah, the star's -10. But then 3 fires is 18. So they go 8 plus 6 is 14.
So it's 11.
Okay, 11.
It's not a 14.
I thought you said 6.
I think that's a 5. Yeah, yeah. 6 plus 5 is 11.
Why is it 5?
Because if it's a -10 and it's 3
plus
fives,
the 3 fires,
then it's 15.
Oh,
it's 15
okay,
minus
right.
10.
I thought the fire was -6 or whatever. I don't know. But okay. Yeah. I'm making it up as I go.
You don't even get what's happening here.
The points don't matter.
And then finally for Jacob, you had 6 plus 2 stars.
Yo.
Which should be -20. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. -14, baby. That's a great handicap. That's a great handicap.
-14. -14 to 14 was the range. There's a jump from -14 to 14, and then a jump for 4 points down just for Alex. Really dick move for Alex, really, honestly.
I want to always specify that I'm sure Alex is a great person, but man, did I not vibe with Alex's roleplay style.
I actually thought it was really good. That's not how mine, actually, that is how mine turned out. Okay, well, mine's a lot more equal, though. It really depends how I do this. I'm going to do this my stupid Mimi way, which is I think I'm going to count Hellfires as zeros because it's just stupid. It's just stupid enough to put Brennan at the top, baby. It was rigged from the whole time. He got a fucking 3. He's the best. He's the best there is. He's never failed me, and he's not starting today, baby. And then it's a big jump to fucking 13, which is just Iffy. Iffy did great. He was in he was in the genre the entire time, and then everybody else is towards the bottom. 15, Izzy and Jacob, which were just like comedy geniuses the entire time. Like when they hit hard. 17 was Ali and Reika. That just like, Reika's wild, man. Reika added so much, but like took away so much from this series for me. I really don't know how I feel about so there's a whole talk about this happening on like the Reddit and stuff. Reika was supposed to replace Ali in Fantasy High and be like one of the original 7 players in the Intrepid Heroes.
Interesting.
Which is, but it's like insane. If you watch
in that
Fantasy
alternate
High,
timeline, I watched Fantasy High earlier because I have such a huge crush on Reika.
Oh my god, you suck!
I'm just saying.
Part of what is weird about all that is that Fantasy High Season 1 ends up being so much about Ali's character that like I don't know what it would have been if Reika was there. Like it would be such a completely different season, and I don't know if with what I've like learned in the season about Reika's playstyle, I would have preferred it. I'm not sure. It definitely would have been interesting to see.
If the alternate timeline, it's me who is always begging you to watch Dimension 20.
Yeah, I'm going. I just can't stand that Reika girl.
Because I mean, honestly, I believe that as an alternate timeline because I was so big into College Humor and like I knew what Dropout was. I just never like bothered to tune in because I was just I'm a lazy consumer. But like, I could see myself being like, "Ooh, Reika's my celebrity crush."
You're a lazy consumer when the thing is actually good. When it's like a little bad, you're like, interesting. So there are highs and lows.
I'm so willing to watch something bad, and I'm so hesitant to watch something good. Cause like, but also I like the idea of it being good. Like, okay, I love Better Call Saul. It's my favorite show of all time. Still haven't watched the final season. Cause if it turns out everyone's wrong and that fucking show fucking sucks at the end, I'm gonna be so sad.
But it's just because you're an endings guy. You like what the show is. Like, I mean, it's the same writers and shit, right?
Yeah.
Then like you have to imagine that like they know what they're doing to make you feel good, you know. I'd love to do that one at some point, just as a study of how you work, because it's absolutely insane.
I just feel like so many good things have bad endings.
You know, I hate to say it, but like, it's not bad. Just this ending was, it was as good as any ending, and I wanted something that was gonna like leave me really happy with it, you know. And it was like, oh yeah, that's an ending, you know.
I rant about I teach English as a fourth wall break that I don't know if I've said, but like I rant about endings all the time because like just so many are so bad at it.
Yeah.
It's the hardest.
A really tough thing to get right.
It's the hardest thing to write.
Yeah. At my very bottom of my thing is 18 is Alex. Alex got the lowest score on my pyramid. If I'm fudging it so that Brennan's not at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I did like Alex a lot. I think there was just like, it was something about both Ali and Alex, but also like, okay, this is not going to make any sense. Alex and Ali didn't take any big swings, and it was like making their point total go higher and like them end up lower in my pyramids every episode. But Reika was taking swings that were so fucking big that it was like, holy shit, stop. And that like put them in the same place as basically Ali and Alex. And it's like, ugh, There's no, maybe I'm too hard to please, or maybe it's just like, this world had a lot of potential that didn't get paid off in the ways that I was really hoping it would, you know? I wanted to talk about some mechanics just because there's still some too.
Okay.
But I'm not mistaken, right? In episode 9, they start by introducing a lot of the new abilities that they got during the adventuring party. That never happened to any other episode, right? And it was totally necessary.
Yeah, it did not. But like there was just so many this time. I guess they felt they had to.
I find that so strange because like so much of this was like just watching them play a system that got increasingly more forgiving for them and like not understanding why it was doing that. I mean, we didn't watch those adventuring parties on like episodes 6, 7, 8 or somewhere in there where they suddenly got like a 4th health level. And like that was like they should definitely open up with that at some point. That was what I thought was strange. They also keep talking about publishing the system, and I'm just like it seems like they've never considered that until like they're really considering it for this one, which is interesting to me. I would really like to see it if they've.
I'm running a D&D campaign at my school as an after-school activity, and I'm basically using this style. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if there's more
efficient
stuff.
That runs out because I think it just is fun at a base level. Like
I think it's really beginner friendly too. Like there's some people who like have heard of D&D but don't really know anything, and there is a pretty big information hurdle, whatever, like information fence to hop over. So it just makes it super simple of like, yep, whenever you get the best die roll, that's when you level up, and there's just kind of the 6 basic stats, and the stats make a little bit more sense than the 5e.
You're using the same stats?
No.
Okay. I mean, it can be genre specific.
I changed drive for weird, and then I added luck. I forgot what I replaced luck with. There's no hot. I changed hot to charm, which is effectively the same. I just didn't want to say hot at school.
Yeah.
What are this? Wait, can you remember all 6?
It's like
there's drive, there's brawl, tough. I made that into one.
Hot, stealth, tech, drive, and
tech.
There's something else.
I did strength.
Oh, stunts. There's stunts and there's weapons.
So there's 8. Interesting.
Yeah, there's 8.
For my campaign, I think I did strength, luck, weird.
You just made it the fuck up. You just made all of them up. You're like, this sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I know you're doing like what is it, like an anime thing?
No, we're doing Baba Yaga.
Oh, Baba Yaga. I don't know where I came up with that, but yeah, no, I think that works. Like, you should change the stats for whatever you're doing it with. And it is basically Kids on Bikes, but they did a season of Dimension 20 that was with a similar system called Kids on Broomsticks, which is just like the Harry Potter version of the Kids on Bike system.
Do you want to know the 6? I just pulled it up.
Yeah, what are they?
Brawn, brains, charm, weird, speed, luck. And speed by extension is also stealth.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Brawn, brains, charm, weird, speed, luck. And I felt like that kept it pretty simple.
Yeah. That is enough. Yeah. It's a really good system. I think I like it more than Kids on Bikes at a base level, just because it requires more rolling, and maybe it's just the setting, but I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I do hope they publish it. I also had for mechanics. Nah, I didn't have anything good. I just thought the Barsimian rolls were a little bit silly. The like to roll to see if he comes back to life. It's one of the few times that I think makes me like agree with you that, like, you know, the dice are and the rules are a little bit restrictive, but imagine if they had hit that 20, you know, imagine.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking insane. And so it's kind of like you got to take the negatives with the positives with that kind of stuff. Yeah, I just thought these episodes were unfortunately okay rather than great. I did think 10 was better than 9. But I think we really hit our peak at probably like 4, like the race episode.
If I recall, I think my peak was 6 or 7. I think 10 was more fun than 9, but 9 is better than 10 for me as a narrative.
Really?
But 10 was more fun.
Yeah. There was just so much combat in 9 that I found it a little repetitive to be like, oh, we're just doing increasingly weird stuff, you know?
I felt that way about 10. I feel like 10, like 80% of it was combat.
Yeah, but at least we got like the heartfelt epilogue, you know? And we sort of don't get any of that with 9. It's just like being in the forest, trying to get out of here with these various props.
Tell me about the golden likes. What were the 2 golden likes that I had?
Oh, yeah.
I remember for sure Jake's heartfelt moment with Rashad in the spaceship after they won the race.
Yes.
But I actually don't remember my first golden like.
Don't believe. This would have been this was your second one.
That was my second.
This was in the bar.
My first?
No. That was your first one.
Oh, really? Okay.
The second one was after that when they bring the Chow Chows out.
Oh, that was stupid.
Yeah, you absolutely blew it on that one.
I blew it on that one.
Yeah, you were just too excited about that joke. You're feeling good. School hadn't started yet. You were like, man, this is amazing. And then school started and you hate the show. Man, what a weird coincidence. I had one, like, positively. That was just it was the, like, Vic and Wendell, like, merging scene where they just, like do the arm handshake or whatever and become one for a second. It paid off something that I hated so much at the beginning that made me feel okay about it. And that was like, if I look back at it, like 90% of the series has to do with them interacting with each other's characters, like their actual in-universe personas. And like so much of the story ended up being about that with like G13 and whatever. And like the movie restarting and stuff and all this whatever, which I still don't really get at the end. But like it had so much to do with that I can't blame Iffy for just coming up with it and it being strong enough that it created so much stuff. I just have to complain about the execution of it at first, you know?
Yeah. Do you stand by that as your golden like, if you can only have one?
If I can only have one, no. I think if I can only have one, it's still a tie between it's still a tie between probably I'm Sorry They Don't Believe, just because that moment I think is the best moment of this series, probably only in competition with Dang's radio call to action, like all you freaks, weirdos, like nobodies and whatever, like we're these bands are playing at the police station downtown. And it's just like, I don't know. That one had emotional resonance beforehand too, and it was a good thing. I'd say the I'm Sorry They Don't Believe is only beats it out because it got animated too, which that's a sort of mechanic I'm gonna go back into. I swear to God, there are less than 10 of those storyboards in the entire series. Like,
one was really long.
When
President Dave becomes a blob, that one was like 30 seconds.
Yeah. But like total, I think there was 2 in this episode that are really just one. I think it cuts like in between into something else. And it's really like only one of them is like one of them is like 2 seconds long or something. And then the rest
I'll give you $5 if you remember the very first animated sequence.
The very first animated sequence?
Mm-hmm.
You won't give me $5.
I'll give you $5.
It was. Is it? What happens in the first episode?
I remember.
Oh, okay. It's them. Oh no, they have a bunch in like the first episode where they're becoming their characters the first time. Is it?
No.
Oh God! Shut up, Paige. Shut the fuck up. Give me like 1 second. It's not. I want $5. It's not Jennifer Drips because she's last. It's not. It's not Alex's character because that's too stationary. I think it's got to be. It's either Wendell or it's Paula. I want to say it's got to be Paula's character jumping across the rooftops.
I'm fairly certain that's wrong. You now have me doubting myself that maybe when Wendell first jumps into it, there's like a guy with like a a chain
A
link that he's
katana
swinging
on a
around.
chain?
Yeah.
No, that might be the first
And I'm
one. That's
almost
the first
wondering
one
if that
that's
was first.
advertised.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure. Now I'm only 90% sure that it's Alex is interacting with someone who has a knife, and they goes, and then he like stabs his own hand.
Oh man,
I'm like
interesting.
90% sure that's it.
God, you know how much I need $5, man? I'm sitting here making a podcast about a show.
I'm 100% sure it's not jumping over the building, because I think Izzy was one of the last people to go.
Dang, okay. Yeah, that might be true. But yeah, I just think there needed to be way more of those. Like, a significant amount for how much runtime we're cutting out of this for, like, what should have been combat. You know, like, I would have almost preferred the minis at this point. I mean, the production value is great, don't get me wrong, like the smoke coming through and the projections and all that stuff, but like this is one of this compared to, and maybe this is really like productionally unfair, but Fantasy High Junior Year, off the charts in terms of fucking production value, and like even the story, like so much work went into that. You can tell that this almost feels like a season from a year ago, you know, it was like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. And like I almost am a little biased that it's not as good as Junior Year, and that we're not like constantly getting better, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what, buddy?
Did you happen to see the Golden Prediction? Just real quick, because I did one of those.
You talked about it at one point. Yeah. You did you edit it in visually? I just think I know which one.
I thought I did.
I'm pretty sure it's G13 being the villain, the final villain.
I thought that too.
That was the one.
I thought I animated it, but maybe not.
Yeah.
All right. What were you gonna segue to?
I don't think you ever actually like did the color. I think you just said it.
No.
This is a random cut. At the time, it was gonna be a not so bad segue, but the Without Our Siblings We Are Nothing, I think, is a terrible payoff for Wendell's character. I think it was wild. It was so simple and fine.
You just haven't watched Fast and Furious, so I don't think you get the joke.
Maybe that's true. Okay.
Basically, Vin Diesel's character is just always talking about the importance of family, no matter what has just occurred.
I mean, I know that joke, but I guess it's never occurred to me that that's what he was doing, because it just seemed so like, this doesn't make sense for your character. And I didn't have those blinders on that I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Overall, I think everybody like did a good job at base level, but like there's more here that I could have, you know, had and been very, very happy with. But I'm looking forward to future Dimension 20 stuff, and hopefully this doesn't turn you off too bad. I hope you can see the potential of like, you know, those high moments are like where we end sometimes, you know, and like that's what's incredible about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm here for it. I've been successfully hooked, which was always objective 1. Objective 2 was to entertain an audience. So
yeah. I appreciate you sitting down with me almost every week to watch this on time and record it and post it on time. But even like while I was still in New York and stuff, we managed to figure it out. I'm pretty happy with that.
If we can linger for 2 more minutes, I'm just scrubbing through for the first episode to see if you earned $5.
I'm sure I could think of something to say about my favorite fucking show. The Time Quangles are up next, and they're coming in a couple weeks. Okay. September 12th is when they're coming. Are you gonna fucking let me do my little tangent in between or not? I'm trying to not.
Fuck! It was the stupid katana on the chain. God damn it.
Okay, good. We're both wrong, and that means you have to pay me.
Technically, if you want to actually me, they animate the title sequence of Never Stop Blowing Up. As soon as they go into the movie, there's a blink and you miss it animation of the title Never Stop Blowing Up. That's in the same style.
I don't think that gets me. $5. $5. So I'm not going to do that.
But that's the actually answer. Okay, so the knife was before the building then. No. Okay, good. Okay, then I feel good, because those were the two I was torn between, but I was just way more sure that it was the knife.
I mean, actually, it's the title sequence of Never Stop Blowing Up. Fuck. Anyways, I don't get $5, and you don't get to be right. That's where we
Yeah,
end
that's
that.
fair. Good middle ground. In a way, that's kind of the thesis of this channel.
That's so sad. Don't say that. It's so supremely sad. I don't know which of us it's sadder for. I want $5.
I want to be right.
Anyways, I'm outroing, bitch.
So how did you...
Kiss you on the lips.
Call back to the first
Up next
episode.
is the time quangles. Oh, what did you think of Liv and Wendell getting together after all?
I thought it was also forced.
I thought it was forced too, but some of it was kind of sweet.
I did like...
I think if he did the best part of it at the end where he was like, I gotta try something or whatever. He was like, I gotta do something real quick, or I gotta make a decision.
If we had made an episode 9... If we had made an episode 9, my gimmick for predictions was going to be predicting all your stuff, because I thought you were going to have a golden like moment of just really liking the music that was playing when they had their first kiss.
Dude.
Because I was like, the music was so good.
That is sort of kind of something, because like the music in these last couple episodes was something to me where it's like it's adding a lot to the experience. The editors are really good at this stuff. Yeah. Except when they do that fucking high-pitched sax note for some reason.
Oh, wait. I got one more thing, because I was going to ask you. Fuck, I forgot. Do you have a golden dislike moment?
A golden dislike moment?
I have a golden dislike moment.
Do I get to remove it from the series forever?
You interpret it however you want. I think we're going to interpret what a golden dislike is differently.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
I think... Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I'm going to interpret it as my favorite moment I don't like. And that's going to be the skull crushing scene with like crushing the G13 out of Usha. I still hate it, but I got to be honest, I've thought about it a lot. And I do like when like a show or whatever makes me think about something. And it's just
there was something else that you said you wouldn't think about, but I'm pretty sure I don't remember it. Do you remember it?
I intentionally am not remembering it.
You fucking bitch.
I don't think about... I've never... Until you prompted me right now, I have not thought about it once.
It's not made to be thought about.
That's why I don't like it. That's why I gave it a 4 out of 10.
That's weird. You don't go to a fucking haunted house and go, it wasn't funny enough. What the fuck?
You mean? I want it to be memorable. The haunted house should be memorable enough to where I advertise it to friends. But like, man, you want to get scared? Dude, this one time, like 3 years ago, I went to this haunted house. I still am a little bit scared of it. That's exactly what you want. What are you talking about? It's a great metric.
Yeah, I know you graded off of what it was trying to be, not what you expected to be.
I graded on what it was trying to be, and then my second most important metric is, does it make me think about things? Do I think about it ever again?
But the other metric gave it, what, an 8 or a 9 or whatever? And it was like, Jesus Christ, we have to rebalance these metrics to be 50-50.
No.
You just said it was the second most important metric, which means therefore it's not more than
I don't have to tell you, buddy. The OG Suicide Squad, the quote unquote bad one, I still think about it sometimes. It has a higher ranking to me than Deadpool 3.
Oh my God, you suck, dude.
Because I think about it.
Suck.
Do something that's thinkable about worthy.
Let's transfer this into a different argument. We should not watch the Time Quangles.
Oh, why not?
Because you haven't seen the seasons. It's
but
not
that we're offering unique perspectives.
Who? Okay, the multiple point response. Do you think you will be like that valued as a resource as somebody who just hasn't seen it?
Yeah.
And like people are going to be like, oh, okay, that means something because this person hasn't seen what they're talking about, doesn't get any of the jokes because of all of the references to previous seasons or whatever.
Yeah. I watch this football guy on YouTube, and then every Super Bowl, he doesn't stream. He makes his wife stream, and everyone tunes in, mostly because his wife is hot, but then also because the wife has no idea what's going on, and that's funny.
That's funny. Sure, it's funny. It's not insightful. I just like I can watch you.
You
are
the insight.
Day, sure.
You are the insight. I am the comedy relief for this next.
I
series.
want your insight. You're not.
I'll
that
give
sexy.
it to you.
You don't get
I'll
to
give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Oh my God! No, I want it from the perspective of somebody who understands the work, so we can engage with it on a level that is deeper than just But yeah, that looked cool.
But in the context of the story, they're all meeting each other for the first time too. It's not like that's not necessarily true. What that character's about.
they roll for what characters they're playing. They could be playing characters that know each other for one, and they could also be playing in the world that they're from, which they also roll for. This does happen. But yes, on some level that would be interesting, but it is sort of like, then it does become Deadpool and Wolverine. We're all making jokes at the table about stuff you don't know about, like stuff that you don't care. And
I get to be the objective critic that goes, I get that this is for me, but I still don't like it.
That would, see, there you go. You've just fucking ruined it, because you're not going to like it because you are reading it in Spanish. That you don't know Spanish. That's what you're doing. Like, I hate this fucking book. You don't know Spanish, dude. It's written in Spanish. Like, you're going to it and you're just going to hate it. And then you're calling that insightful as if you're looking at it objectively, which you're not.
Objectively, people who don't speak Spanish, this book is bad. What if it was good? Wouldn't that be interesting, though? Wouldn't it be like, I don't speak Spanish, and I still thought the Spanish book was good?
No, you know what? It would be funny, is what it would be.
No,
I never said it was interesting. I said it was funny.
I think it's
just a flip on that thing. No, it's like, it's not. What's interesting about that? Let's say, like, break it down to me.
I can only do this in one way, and it's going to demonetize the video.
What? What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean, Austin? I'm writing down a time. You tell me what it is right now. I'm going to cut straight from here to there, and I'm going to go, what the fuck? We can't put that on air. Go ahead.
Okay.
The joke here is that we have never been monetized and are years away from being monetized, so that is not getting cut out. What do you mean demonetized? There's no monetized to D.
No, you were supposed to say, what the fuck? You can't say that. Of course that's getting cut out.
You've had the rug pulled under you. Edit it your fucking self then.
No.
But this is an extended conversation, but like, we're going through this with like Firewatch 2, which we just played and everything. The intended audience is usually what the art is being made for, and the intended audience is usually what people want to know the like review score for, because like, okay, it's not necessarily helpful. It is interesting, but it's not helpful.
We've made Marvel Snap videos, so this is relevant. Okay, there's a Marvel Snap series where there's people who play other card games like Yu-Gi-Oh, Hearthstone, or whatever, and they'll get shown cards from Marvel Snap, and they'll try to take a guess of like how meta-defining that card is. That's one of my favorite things. I really find that interesting. Of like, you don't know what the game is, but you know about other things.
Sure.
What do you think about this one? Okay, so now I've done my first D20 thing. I know a decent amount of D&D. That's not even outside of the intended audience necessarily, though. When you're showing somebody that, I bet it is somebody who knows games, at least. You have no interest in knowing what someone thinks about in-game who has seen no prior Marvel movie? You don't want to just know what they think?
It's not helpful to me. I'm interested, yes.
I'm only arguing interesting. I'm not arguing insightful. I'm saying you will be the insightful one, and I can still be interesting. That's my argument.
I hear what you're saying. It's missing a piece. Where like,
I'm saying that Time Quangle feels like in-game, and I've only seen fucking, what's the most explosive Marvel movie? I've only seen Iron Man 2. And I want to see in-game next and talk about it.
It's gotta be Iron Man 3 though.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess all the suits blow up. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, I've only seen Iron Man 3.
And they save the president. They literally save the president.
Okay.
And there's even there's like a gooey man monster. There's a fake out on who's the villain. There's like, we can't go home. There's a man in a mech suit.
And there's identity crisis, because like Robert Downey Jr. is like, am I Iron Man or am I Tony Stark?
Yeah.
And they're like, am I this or am I that?
Is there a MacGuffin? I don't think there's a MacGuffin.
Surely.
Don't call me
Shirley. I don't know what it is
either. Sure. But like, as my friend, I want to go, hey friend, don't ruin this thing for yourself, and also just kind of be bored while I do this thing with you. just so that you can tell me it sucks, because I know it's going to suck for you, because it's not.
But here's the thing,
you.
Jared. Here's the thing, right? I'm gonna watch all the MCU with you, and then I'm still not gonna like Endgame.
No, bitch. But if it was the same thing, if it was Infinity War, and it's like, okay,
I love Infinity War.
I didn't get it. If you did, yeah, but if you didn't like it, it'd be like, okay, so you're gonna watch the whole thing and still not like it. It's like, ugh.
What if I just do it's a way to have content on the channel card?
Then I counter you and I go, we should just go back and do one of the more popular seasons that is still interesting.
But then we'll always be behind. We're not doing what's live.
No, the Time Quangles are coming out like in weird schedule, and there's a 2-week break. Yeah, but they're splitting up across to December too. And I don't think are we gonna sit down and like, is this like for you too? I think this one was a good one for us, but I don't know how you feel about what is probably coming next, which is we're doing like 3 weeks of Time Quangles probably, and then we're doing Dungeons and Drag Queens season 2. That's already for a season 2, which probably it'll be a different set of drag queens anyways. But like, is that one that you're gonna want to sit down and watch?
If you do, yeah.
They're funny, and it was really good. I got like 3 episodes into the 4-episode season. I think it was only 4. Maybe it was 6.
I'm just saying, my instinct is it feels like it's gonna be Friends first, story second. But
I kind of agree, but drag queens are very performative, and so it's like it was very like comedy focused in a way, you know, like yeah. So I mean, there was some storytelling there. But yeah, no, it was kind of like focus on the jokes, the bits, and we'll move on from there. But yeah, I don't know. See, like that's a hole for us if we just kind of focus on things that are more our speed. But I don't know. We can talk about it more at length some other time, especially in person. But I just, you know what? If any fucking person gets an hour and 5 minutes into this fucking episode and thinks that they have the answer for whether or not to watch the Time Quangles, maybe I'll leave it up to chance. And somebody fucking comments. Somebody
if you
in the
just say
world
yes,
is
I'll
like,
Venmo you $5.
No, bitch, you won't. Don't do that.
You say yes, I'll DM you on your YouTube account.
And then that's how I get my $5. And you've been swindled. This is punked. Get punked.
I'm gonna send you a GIF of Wendell and the katana instead of $5. All right, this is our longest episode for some reason.
I'm gonna cut 5 minutes of out where you're just looking to see and interrupting me about the fucking nonsense with the. I don't think that's.
There's no way I can stay up and edit this.
I know. I'm not gonna make you do that. I'm joking. Yeah, no, we did.
I love you, Jared.
1 hour and 20 minutes in episode 4. I love you too, buddy.
I gotta go now.
Crack your neck, and I'm gonna like pour out what's inside.
You, what?
Anyways.
I don't know how to feel. So like, this is reminding me. Now I'm gonna like a laughing fit. But man, I have some new kids who are joining improv.
Uh-huh.
And like they'll just laugh at anything and everything. It's just like, oh my god, it's not that funny. Please.
Is that why you asked Michaela earlier? Like, can you explain that? Why that's funny?
Yeah, because I wish I could do that more. I was just like, man, I wish I could give you an example. I can't remember what the scenes were right now, but man, the new kid just
they
could
probably
not
do
stop
SpongeBob
laughing.
impressions.
We did do a SpongeBob impression.
No.
Well, it was the prompt though. It was a prompt. It was like spatula.
Uh-huh.
And so then they came onto the scene that went.
Stupid.
It's so
That's
funny.
actually not that.
Yeah. Cut it. End it. Send it.
All right, Austin. Thanks for talking to me.
Thanks for talking to me, Jared. Have a great smack talk, and I'll smack talk you next time.
I'll smack your balls and I'll talk to you about it tomorrow.
Call back.
It rears its ugly head every once in a while.
It's a call.
All right. If you like any of this and have an opinion on some shit, we desperately need it.
If you like your ball
totally
smack, that makes you a sub. And
we'll
I'll
love
subscribe.
to read it. We'll read it so much and so hard. Yeah, like, comment, fucking subscribe or whatever the fuck. Thanks for coming, Austin.
Bye.
Thanks for
I
coming on
hit
my
stop.
face, Austin.
I-
Thanks for having me.